Am I audible?
Hare
Able to hear me?
Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare
Kamath
Krishna.
Faraj. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji. Hare Krishna. Bhumika ji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Today, little early class because I have some other meeting scheduled from 7 onwards. Okay, Sushila ji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Shobha ji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Janardhan ji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Gupta ji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
So you are on the way.
Yes, I am on the way.
Okay, good. Really. So let's begin. Vashne ji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. So let's begin our session with prayers to Prabhupada and Lord Krishna. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pasyatya Deshatarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Shri Radha Vrindavan Chandra ki jai, Shri Shri Nidai ki jai, Shri Lakshmi Prabhupada ki jai. So it's a gap happened for 2-3 weeks because of so traveling, other aspects. So anyway, we'll catch up and move forward. So we have started our discussions from 13th chapter. Wherein Arjuna is asking 6 questions to Lord Krishna. What is Prakriti? What is Purusha? What is Kshetra? What is Kshetragya? What is Jnana? And what is Gneya? These are 6 questions which Arjuna asks and for which Lord Krishna systematically starts answering these questions. First, Krishna begins to answer the questions on Kshetra and Kshetragya. Kshetra means field of activity, and Kshetragya means the knower of the field of activity. And the famous example Prabhupada gives is of a field, agricultural field, right? So agricultural field is open for any sort of cultivation. So this body is like the field. What you want to cultivate, how you want to develop it, in what consciousness you want to culture, depends on you. Right? A farmer may not use the whole land, or he may not even cultivate anything. He may keep it barren, right? Undeveloped. A lot of weeds will be growing. Or some farmer who is very active and very enthusiastic, he may cultivate his farmland that he is able to get 3 to 4 crops in a year. Possible. Right? It all depends on how you want to utilize the field. So this body is like a field given to us. And because we want to enjoy sense gratification, this field is given to us. This field is basically, there are whatever different bodies we see around us, is all different fields of activities, different living entities having different bodies. Because each of us wanted to enjoy our senses in that way. And based on the capacity to enjoy sense gratification, a specific field of activity is given. A body is offered. So this body is the field of activity, Kshetra. And I, as spirit soul, is the knower of the field. Because I know, to some extent, what's going on in my life, right? My body, as journey goes on in my life. And Krishna says, apart from me as Kshetragnya, that is the knower of the field, there is one more knower of the field, who is known as Super Soul. Super Soul is the super knower. Right? He is not only in our body, he is in every living entity's body. And he knows Sarva Kshetreshu Bharata. He is the knower of all bodies. What's happening in my body, what's happening in your body, everybody, every living entity's body he knows. That is the difference. So in every living entity, in every body, there are two knowers. One is the individual knower, that is soul, and super soul, super knower. Right? This is the aspect of knowledge. Krishna says this is called knowledge. Right? Perfect knowledge of the constitution of the body means what is this body? Body is field of activity, and constitution of individual soul, spirit soul. We are all spirit souls, part and parcel of Krishna, and super soul. Super soul is actually an expansion of Lord Krishna, who is speaking Bhagavad Gita right now. Right? So this is what Krishna says is Jnanam. That is Krishna's opinion. And Krishna further explains what is this body, Kshetra, constituted of. Right? And now Krishna gives the evidence from great sages, authorities, and Vedic scriptures. Right? Krishna doesn't say that it is what I want to say. No, Krishna says the knowledge about this field of activities and of the knower of activities, it is described by various sages. Rishibir Bahuda Gitam. And this is described elaborately in various Vedic writings, like the Vedanta Sutra. And all this is presented, Krishna says, with a proper reasoning. To the effect of cause and effect means the effect of this is because of this cause. And further, this becomes a cause for one more effect, like this. So very nicely, systematically, scientifically, logically, reasonably, all these are explained in the Vedic scriptures, and Krishna gives a very brief understanding of this field of activity means basically the body constituted of 24 elements. The Panchabhuta, earth, water, air, fire, ether. There are 10 senses, 5 knowledge acquiring senses, 5 working senses, mind, intelligence, ego. Right? There are 5 sense objects. This polluted consciousness. Like this, Krishna explains in how interaction of all the various aspects like this will create so many other emotions within the field of activity. Right? So having said this much, now Krishna is specifically going to elaborate further on the aspect of knowledge. That's where we are supposed to begin our discussion. So this is verse number 8 to 12. Today we are going to discuss on this. Chapter number 13, Nature, Enjoyer and Consciousness. Krishna says, Amanitvam adambhitvam ahimsa kshantir arjavam acharyopasanam shaucham sthiryam atma vinigraha indriyartheshu vairagyam anahankara evacha janma mrityu jara vyadhi dukh doshanu darshanam asaktir anabhishvangah putradara grihadishu nityam cha samachittatvam ishtanishtopapatishu Mayi chananya yogena bhaktir avyabhicharini vivikta desha sevitvam aratir jana samsari adhyatma jnana nityatvam tattva jnanartha darshanam etad jnanam iti proktam ajnanam yad atonyatha. So Krishna is giving a list of 20 items of knowledge. Very interesting. And Krishna actually, Prabhupada explains that these 20 items of knowledge are described as the real process of knowledge. Right? Because if you want to know what knowledge means actually, to understand a specific aspect, maybe a situation or an object or a person or an activity in a very factual manner, right? That is knowledge. Just like a person, a mechanic, will have the knowledge of repairing the vehicles, right? Or a person who is an expert cook, he has the knowledge of cooking, right? So knowledge basically means knowing a specific domain of understanding of that particular field, a very expert in that field. So here Krishna is describing 20 items of knowledge. And he says, Krishna says, I declare this to be knowledge, and anything else other than these 20 items is, Krishna says, it is ignorance. Very interesting, right? Ajnanam. Jnanam means these 20 items. Anything other than this is ajnanam, which means these 20 items has everything in it. You carefully understand, analyze. So from the Bhagavad Gita's perspective, what is knowledge? You have to understand. Bhagavad Gita's very beginning, the very beginning of Bhagavad Gita, if you see, Krishna chastised Arjuna in the second chapter. Ashocyan anvashochastvam pragyavadam shabashase agatasun agatasunsa nanushochanti pandita. Arjuna was posing himself as a very great learned person and wanting to put before Krishna many arguments to say, to rather justify that why he should not fight, why Arjuna should not fight. Because on the battlefield, Arjuna had come to fight against the Kauravas. But after seeing the situation there on the battlefield, his own family members standing on the opposite side, Arjuna's mind was bewildered. He was overtaken or overwhelmed by compassion, because of which he started giving many reasoning. He started giving many, say, logical understanding according to his way of presenting things, and telling, I don't want to fight. So Krishna's first reaction to Arjuna's reasoning was, you speak like a learned man, but you are a fool number one. Right? You speak like a pandita, but you are not a pandita, you are a fool number one. Why? Because you don't even know what is matter, what is spirit. So it is a basic distinction between, from the Bhagavad Gita's standard, Bhagavad Gita's yardstick. Because in the ordinary sense, we may take so many things as knowledge. But from the Vedic perspective, from Krishna's perspective, what is actually knowledge? Right? If you see 10th chapter, 4th and 5th verse, there also Krishna explains about Jnanam. He again lists many wonderful qualities in the living entities, good or bad. And in that Buddhir Jnanam Asamoha Jnanam, Prabhupada explains, knowledge refers to understanding what is spirit and what is matter. Ordinary knowledge obtained by university education pertains only to matter, and it is not accepted here as knowledge. Knowledge means knowing the distinction between spirit and matter. See, very clear. In modern education, there is no knowledge about the spirit. They are simply taking care of the material elements and bodily needs. Therefore, academic knowledge is not complete. A very wonderful revelation which Prabhupada is giving us from Bhagavad Gita's perspective. What we think as knowledge is not knowledge. What Krishna is presenting to us from the authentic Vedic literatures, great sages, Krishna himself is authority, is an authority. That is knowledge. Right? Otherwise, anything else is ignorance. So basic discrimination between knowledge and ignorance is that knowledge means knowing about spirit, knowing about Brahman, knowing about spiritual aspects. Ignorance is just knowledge about matter. That's the understanding. So this is the basic discrimination. Now, Prabhupada starts explaining, and very interestingly, he says, this is the real process of knowledge. Right? So we have to accept this process. Why it is process? Because right now, with the knowledge, what we think as knowledge, we are going on in our life. And it is leading to nowhere. Right? As in the Bhagavata, Prahlad Maharaj says, Andha yathandair upaniyamana. Right? Blind leading the blind. And both of them going and falling in a ditch. Right? So the leaders are blind in terms of spiritual understanding, enlightenment about spirit. They don't know what they're doing. They are thinking advancement. Oh, you have to do this, that, this, running. But they don't know, they're all very much near the cliff's edge. Anytime they'll fall down and they'll finished. So modern civilization is like that. Right? So the knowledge, what they think as knowledge, actually it is, they're ignorant about self. It is leading them to nowhere. Right? It is leading them to a disastrous life. Right? Once you have something as an understanding, you are driven by that understanding. Right? So what Prabhupada says here is, if you can change that understanding with this understanding of what Krishna is telling us here, because we have some sort of a preconceived notions in our mind about life, about things around us, about enjoyment. We have something already, conceptions are there, right? Which is all being fed by society, media, our family. So many people have told this is how life is. I remember when I was young, school-going kid, I was taken to a marriage by my parents, maybe one of our relatives, and it was a very big arrangement. So my father will say, if you study nicely, you'll get a good job, and like this, your marriage can happen very lavishly. So just see, the understanding is, so what should be your aim in life? Study nicely, get a good job, and earn nicely. That's all life means. That is the goal in life. Is that the goal in life? No. Just see how we're all being fed with all such understanding from our childhood. Our parents got trained like that by their parents. Neighbors, relatives, everybody is having such wrong perceptions. Prabhupada says misconceived ideas about life. Right? So like this, so many misconceptions, wrong apprehensions about life is leading us to a very wrong direction and getting entangled. About Rishabhadev, Lord Rishabhadev, is a nice prayer in Bhagavatam. It is said, Chira Supta Buddhi, means we are so absorbed in the materialism thoughts. We are sleeping in that materialistic thoughts, think that this is life. We are all going on in a life of illusion and think this is how life is. We have to study, we have to do that, we have to advancement means big bungalow, a lot of money, name, fame, power, position. This is life. Right? Actually, when you go through Bhagavad Gita's understanding properly, then you start rewiring your knowledge, what real knowledge to real knowledge, and then you see, oh, so basically the understanding what you have to have in your consciousness, by which you will act in a proper way. So it's called process of knowledge. Okay. So in this 5 verses, Krishna is listing 20 items of knowledge, which is supposed to be guiding us in every aspect of our life. He's practically covered every aspect of life. We'll see that. So Krishna says, or Prabhupada says, if you can follow this process of knowledge Krishna has given here, then it is possible to approach the absolute truth. Because the purpose of human life is to tamasima jyotirgamaya, mrutyoma amrutam gamaya. That is the purpose of human life. From darkness to light you have to go, means absolute truth. From the world of mortality you have to go to immortal existence. Right? So this is the whole purpose. So in that way, Krishna explains very nicely the 20 items of knowledge. One of the important items which Prabhupada points out is in the 11th verse, first line. Mayi chananya yogena bhaktir avyabhicharini. Whatever you do, any process of knowledge you are following, it should ultimately lead you to the point of devotional service. That is the test. So you are telling that, oh, I have passed out from Harvard, PhD. Okay, your PhD is resulting you to perform bhakti to Krishna. If not, then whatever PhD you have done is useless. No, I am doctorate in that subject. Okay, whatever you are. Have you come to the point of surrendering to Krishna? This is what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, 7th chapter. Bahunam janmana mante jnanvan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti. Right? After many, many millions of births, one who has come to the proper understanding or real platform of knowledge, he has realized that Vasudeva Sarvamiti, Lord Krishna Vasudeva is the cause of all causes. He is the source of everything. Just see. So this is the summit of understanding. This is the essence of all knowledge. If anything else, you are come to some other conclusion, which means there is some flaw. Right? Just like Prabhupada says, a mathematical calculation. We have solved many, mathematical problems in our school days. Right? Some addition, subtraction, division, multiplication. Somewhere one digit or some sort of instead of addition, you do subtraction. What happens? The whole thing will go. You will not get a proper answer at all. Correct? That's what is happening in our life. We may think, oh, I'm advancing. Just the illusion that I have done so much of degrees, I have done so much of knowledge, I've gained so much I've done. But finally, it's not leading you to the platform of knowledge, platform of realization that I am part and parcel of Krishna. I have to serve Krishna. That's the problem. So here, very clearly Prabhupada says, this is the key here. The other 19 items of knowledge should lead you to the point of unalloyed devotion to Krishna, which means pure devotional service to Krishna. Prabhupada also says, if you simply practice pure devotional service, as Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita, we have studied in the 12th chapter, then automatically other items of knowledge develop. Basically develop in the sense that they will awaken. They are there, but they are perverted now. They are covered and they are manifested in a different way. I give the example earlier also. It's like the white light when it is covered by some colored paper. Say green cover, you cover with the white light. The light what is coming out will be green light. But actually light is white. Likewise, right now our consciousness, our way of seeing things, perception of this world around us is all colored. So these modes of nature are colored. These modes, about modes, we'll read in the next chapter. The modes are the energy of Krishna influencing our consciousness and covering our real understanding. So sooner we have transcended the modes, we have risen above the modes, then we can see world around us in proper perspective. That's the understanding. So now Prabhupada begins explaining each and every item of knowledge. The first item of knowledge is called amanitvam, humility. Right? Mana means I want honor. Amana means I don't expect any honor. Right? It is one of the important aspects of knowledge. Prabhupada says the material conception of life means right now our way of acting in this world, our way of conducting ourselves in the material world is that we have material conception of life. Material conception means I am this matter, I am this body, and other person is a body. I'm identifying with the body. Oh, intelligent body, beautiful body, ugly body, oh, rich body, body. Right? Very powerful body. So like this, we are designating ourselves with the body. It's called material conception of life or bodily conception of life. So based on the type of body I have or people around us have, we start behaving accordingly, acting accordingly. Somebody who is, according to my estimation, having a body which is not, not so, say, appreciable, then I expect that that person should honor me, respect me, right? I am very intelligent. I am the head in this whole community. They should respect. I am a very eldest person, right? You go to some social program. If you are elderly by age, then you expect everybody should come and honor me, respect me. Or if I am very accomplished, when you walk in the street, everybody, oh, big man, big person is walking. So you want honor, respect. Like this, Prabhupada says, we are very anxious for to have the satisfaction of being honored by others. Why? Because I am identifying with the body and some designations I have got, I have put on my head. I am this, I am that, I am this, I am that, like this. Now I put so many designations on my consciousness. So this is making me or driving me to expect some, honor always. Always anxious for honor. Right? Just giving an example. If I happen to come to your, all of us meet face to face, and somehow I didn't, notice Kamaji sitting in a corner. I didn't even ask him, how are you? Then you say, Prabhuji spoke to everybody, but didn't even ask me. Every week I attend this class. What is this? Dishonored. I just give you an example. You'll not feel that, but I'm just telling you example. It happens, no? Oh, so sometimes this marriage thing, is a very sensitive thing. Every relative got, marriage card. They didn't come and give me marriage card. So I'll not go to the marriage. Then after marriage, somehow they come to your house and ask, you didn't come. No, you didn't give me card only. How you should come? No, family marriage, no, you should come anyway, card or no card. Right? They'll try to justify their statement. Like this, people want to be honored, recognized. Honor means recognition, respected. For any aspect, every aspect, they should be respected. So, material conception of life makes a person very anxious to have the satisfaction of being honored by others. But what is the teaching of Bhagavad Gita from the beginning? I am not the body. Body is constantly changing. Dehinosmin yatha dehe kaumaram yavvanam jara. Body is constantly changing. What body you had, 10 years back, same body you don't have. After 10 more years, you'll become old man. Right? Even your own family will not respect you. Right? Like this, body is changing, situations change. So if this, whether honor or dishonor, I don't mind, I don't bother. I am spirit soul, I am part and parcel of Krishna. Disunderstanding. So, you should not hanker after this. Prabhupada says, you should not hanker after this material deception. The deception. Deception means it's not truth. It is simply, our some illusion in the mind. This is first item of knowledge, which means have this understanding that whether people honor or dishonor me, don't bother. Right? If they honor, whatever they do, I'll always honor everybody. This is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. Amanina manadena. Whether anybody honors me or don't honor me, I don't mind, but I will honor everybody as spirit soul and give them due respect. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, this will become a wonderful motivation for you to always remember Krishna, chant his names. Second item of knowledge. Amanitvam adambhitvam. Adambara. Adambara means show off. Prideful. Dambha. Right? Very, very, very pride. I am the president of Rotary Club. Or I belong to this family. Means feeling very proud about your lineage or your connections. Oh, I know Modi. If I call him, you lift my phone. Very, very proud, very boastful. Or else, I go to this organization and they recognize me every time. Whenever I come at the gate, they'll receive me, So feeling connected to some big organization, some big, some big personality. Like this is called pride. Right? So Prabhupada says, pridelessness. Right? We always want to recognize ourselves as something which is famous in the world. Some organization, some personality, or some political outfit. Like this, we always want to identify ourselves and want to take pride in it. Or sometimes, oh, I studied in this prestigious college, university, a lot of pride, as though, that university is very famous because of you. So like this, people, start giving so many, like this prideless. This is called pride. So Krishna says, this is useless, right? You should be prideless. So basically, what Krishna wants to tell us is, if you want to see whether you're advancing in spiritual life, this is a test. These 20 items, you should make a list and every day start giving a score. Humility. Oh, what is my score today? Out of 1 to 10. Right? Always expecting honor. If consciousness is predominantly that only throughout the day, then where is the question of this aspect of knowledge, humility in you? And feeling very proud that I am Brahmana. I am from good family. I am belonging to that place. All this is actually Prabhupada says nonsense. Right? Actually, we are spirit soul. So we can judge ourselves by putting ourselves into test into what level we are with these items of knowledge. Okay. Third item, Krishna says, is ahimsa. Ahimsa means non-violence. So non-violence simply doesn't mean that, not killing animals, right? Or not destroying anybody's body. No. Prabhupada says non-violence actually means not to put others into problem, distress. Either emotionally, intellectually, in whatever way, do not put them into distress. Prabhupada gives a wonderful understanding. Everybody is suffering because of ignorance about their real self. Right? Everybody is in the bodily concept of life. I am the body. This is the cause of suffering. Right? So, if you can somehow relieve them from this suffering, because they are in a wrong understanding, wrong conception of life. See, the whole purpose of these 20 items of knowledge is to bring you to the right perception of life. Proper perception of life. Just like in a dream, you are seeing that a tiger is chasing you. You are running, sweating. And, somebody wakes you up. Over. Tiger is over, dream is over. So, Prabhupada says, similarly, if we can do this wonderful service of waking up people to the real understanding of their situation of life, right? Then, if you can awaken spiritual knowledge in a person, whatever possible you can help the person, then that is actually non-violence. Otherwise, you are practicing violence. So we have to elevate people's spiritual understanding. That's the point. Right? So somehow, if you can distribute this understanding, knowledge of Bhagavad Gita and enlighten people, this will relieve them from the suffering. Otherwise, people will continue suffering. They don't know what is the reality. Lack of Prabhupada's Guru Maharaj used to say, there is no shortage of anything in this material world except Krishna consciousness. People don't have Krishna consciousness, that's why they are suffering. If somehow people can be enlightened in Krishna consciousness, then things will change. That's right. So like this, violence, non-violence, ahimsa, how to practice ahimsa. So you should always analyze and check whether I am able to influence others with understanding. Because otherwise everybody is suffering. If you don't help the other person with this understanding, you are practicing violence, Prabhupada says. Very interesting perspective. Next, fourth item of knowledge, tolerance. Kshanti. So, material world, Prabhupada says, is filled with, aspect of insults, honors, and especially when you take up devotional service, there will be a lot of comments and fault finding from others about what we are doing. There will be insults, dishonors, right? So this is expected. So we should practice to tolerate them. Prabhupada gives example of Prahlad. His own father was insulting him so much, was torturing him so much, right? He was so against, Hiranyakashipu was so much against his own son, Prahlada, right? So, Haridas Thakur, even though he was following the principles of Sanatan Dharma as per Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's order, because he was born Muslim, there was a lot of torture from their community. Why are you taken up? Why did you convert to Hinduism? So Haridas Thakur said, if Hindus can convert to Muslims, why not Muslim can convert to Hindu? That was his argument. So like this, there was a lot of torture even Haridas Thakur went through, but he tolerated them. So like this, Prabhupada says, for making advancement in spiritual knowledge, there may be impediments, but we should be tolerant and continue our progress with determination. Right? A lot of people will comment, oh, what is the use of chanting? Or why are you reading Bhagavad Gita? Now it is not the time, we should enjoy life. There's so many sort of comments and fault finding, and a lot of things will be there. Here you'll keep hearing like this every now and then. But we should know with determination what is the right thing. Nishchaya, Prabhu Goswami says, Nishchaya, you should be determined in your path of progress, path of bhakti, because you know what is the fact. So this is called tolerance. Okay, then is all from the perspective of the soul's real understanding. That's the whole thing. The whole 20 items of knowledge are being listed here from the soul's real existential situation. How the soul, when it is actually pure, or when it is in the spiritual existence, what will be its understanding, and which will drive its actions accordingly. Right? The purified, just like Prabhupada, pure devotee, his knowledge is this. Every action you can see humility, pridelessness, non-violence, tolerance. Right? Then simplicity. Simplicity means arjavam. Krishna explains this in some other places also in Bhagavad Gita, especially in the 18th chapter. He says the qualification of a Brahmana is simplicity. Simplicity means straightforwardness. No diplomacy, no duplicity, no kapata. Kapata means hypocrisy. You have something in front of me, but heart of heart, you have some other motive, some other intention. Right? So simplicity means being very straightforward. Clean heart. Right? So the opposite of the simplicity is mentioned in the Chaitanya Charitamrita as kutinati. Kutinati means hypocrisy. This Kali Yuga means hypocritical. People are all hypocrites. They have one face, mask, and inside they have something else, some other intention. Just like Putana, she came as as a beautiful woman to feed Krishna, but her intention was what? To kill Krishna. That is called hypocrisy. But she was ordered by Kamsa to do that, but she got liberated finally. So like this, simplicity, arjavam. Then comes the important item, the sixth item of knowledge, acharyopasanam, accepting spiritual master for progress in spiritual life. Right? It's a very important aspect, acharyopasanam. The stress of accepting an acharya, spiritual master, Krishna has made in 4th chapter also. Tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam. 4.34, Krishna says that you have to approach a bona fide spiritual master in a very submissive mood, serve him and inquire from him in a mood of humble attitude, Krishna says. So why? Because only when you approach a bona fide spiritual master or authorized spiritual master, you will be getting proper understanding, knowledge. All these items of knowledge will be revealed by that spiritual master to you. He'll bestow his blessings upon you. This is the process of acquiring spiritual knowledge. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado. Krishna is acting through his pure devotee. The pure devotee becomes the transparent via medium to distribute the knowledge to his disciples. Disciple will follow the spiritual master that way. It's like we follow Prabhupada, and Prabhupada is giving us blessings by when we read Bhagavad Gita, when we chant Hare Krishna, Prabhupada is blessing us. Right? And that way, we'll become advanced. We are advancing in spiritual life. The very fact that we have finished 12 chapters reading and come to 13th chapter itself is a blessing of Prabhupada. Not easy. To get determination that, every week I have to attend this session and move forward is not easy. It's not possible for everybody. Right? It's a blessing. If you are moving forward, you're able to chant every day Hare Krishna, at least read some aspect of Bhagavad Gita, it is a blessing of Prabhupada. Prabhupada says, actually when you get blessing of Guru, Prabhupada, what happens? The following of regulative principles becomes easy. Right? Or even without following regulative principles, you get all knowledge. Just see. This is what Guru does. He gives blessings in the form of transcendental knowledge. So, accepting a bona fide spiritual master is a very essential item. This bhakti begins with that. Right? Next, 7th item, Krishna says, Shaucham, cleanliness. There are 2 types of cleanliness. Internal cleanliness. You can, by chanting the holy name of Lord Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhupada says we can clean our mind, cleanse our mind from the past karma, Cheto Darpana Marjanam. And externally, we have to take bath, at least in summer, 3 times a day, Prabhupada says. And for internal cleanliness, one has to think of Krishna. So, keeping yourself externally clean by taking bath, wearing fresh clothes. And then internally, this is one of the aspects of knowledge, which cleanliness is something, Prabhupada says, cleanliness is next to godliness. If you are unclean, then it will not, you will be in tamoguna. Not be taking bath for a week or 2-3 days. It will be, not at all advisable. Every day you have to take bath. Right? In the Western country, Prabhupada says, when I went to America, I was surprised. People are not taking bath for weeks. So advanced country, not taking bath for weeks. And some in Middle East countries, they do, I think Shubhaji knows, Shubha Kamaji, they put some scent, very, very nice. They say water shortage. What a type of life they're living, you see. Unhealthy also it is. Okay. Next, 8th item is called Stairyam, steadiness. So what is steadiness? You are determined to make progress in spiritual life. Means I want to move forward. I want to understand Bhagavad Gita. What Krishna is telling, I want to know. So you are seriously trying to understand. Rather, seriously trying to read the Bhagavad Gita, take help of devotees who have some understanding of this, and do whatever required to move forward in spiritual life. That is called steadiness. Stairyam means you are not, I'm not able to read, understand anything, leave it. No. I will pursue the matter seriously unless I'll try to get some understanding of it. It's not out of that challenge you're doing. It's out of your serious, sincere endeavor to have more sincere devotion to Krishna. That is what steadiness means. Means you are fixed up in your determination that I want to move forward in spiritual life, because Krishna has told this is how you should move forward. As you move forward in spiritual life, then gradually your heart is cleansed and you're able to have clarity about your life. That's what Krishna says. So I'm able to practically experience it. Right? Earlier I had so many drives for other things. Now it's all reduced and I'm fixed up in bhakti. This all only shows that I'm moving forward in bhakti. It's called steadiness. And next item, 9th item is called Atma Vinigraha. Atma Vinigraha means self-control. Vinigraha means control. So not to accept things which is going to spoil your bhakti. Just like in the aspect of surrender, it is said, Anukulyasya sankalpa pratikulyasya varjanam. Means accept things favorable, reject things unfavorable for bhakti. So self-control basically means we will not accept anything which is detrimental for our bhakti, process of bhakti, progress of bhakti. Right? So Prabhupada says we should become accustomed to this practice. Should reject anything which is against the path of bhakti. Right? Next, item number 10. Indriyartheshu vairagyam means our senses, Krishna says in 2nd chapter, they are very, very strong and impetuous. They are very impulsive. They always want to indulge in sense gratification. Very anxious for sense gratification. Eyes want to see beautiful things, ears want to hear something music, tongue want to taste something, always indulging in sense gratification. So we should not simply let loose these senses to act in whatever way they want. Rather, we should engage senses always in the service of Krishna. Or always engage them in the activities, just like Krishna says in 2nd chapter of Bhagavad Gita, like a tortoise. What does tortoise do? When required, it will have its senses used. Otherwise, it is within, kept, unused. So we use our senses only for our advancement in spiritual life, for Krishna's service. Prabhupada gives examples here. Eyes should be used for seeing Krishna. Ears should be used for hearing about Krishna. Right? Tongue should be used for tasting Krishna prasadam. So like this, Bhagavad Gita is just, Prabhupada says, simply expounding the science of devotional service. Right? Bhakti is the main and sole objective of Bhagavad Gita, nothing else. There's nothing to be understood from Bhagavad Gita other than bhakti. That's all. So simply people want to draw something else. So many commentaries they make about Bhagavad Gita, this and all. It's all nonsense. So very clearly Krishna is telling, Indriyartheshu vairagyam means your senses should be used only for advancement in spiritual life. Otherwise, it should be withdrawn from them. So don't indulge in sense gratification unnecessarily. That's the meaning. Right? Then 11th item, anahankara. Ahankara, anahankara. So here anahankara means, Prabhupada translates it as being without false egoism. Right? Ahankara means the sense of identity. I am. Right now, the identity is I am identifying with the body. I am man, I am woman, I am father, I am mother, husband, wife, son, so many things we identify ourselves with. Right? So as soon as you identify with this body, which you are not actually, that's what I've been discussing. I am not this body, I am spirit soul. So when you identify with the wrong person, that is called false ego. Ego is there. Ego is the our one of the faculties of our existence. But when you have wrong identification, that becomes false ego. So Krishna says you should give up this false ego. Anahankaram evacha. Which means our consciousness should be always having this conception that I am not this body, I am spirit soul. Krishna repeatedly says, right? Nirahankara, nirmama. Throughout, from the beginning he says. Now what does nirahankara means? Give up this false ego. I am this body, or bodily connections are mine. These are all wrong, rather false understandings, false perceptions. Right? Ego we cannot give up. Ego is our part of our existence. Real ego is what? I am spirit soul. I am part and parcel of Krishna. I am devotee of Krishna. This is real ego. Jivera Swarupa Nitya Krishna Dasa. Right? So this is 11th item. 12th item is again very important one. Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukha Doshanu Darshanam. Krishna says, having a proper philosophical perception about the evil of birth, death, old age, disease. Right? Very wonderful understanding. Right? So, Bhagavatam, Vedic scriptures describe that birth is very, very troublesome. Right? A lot of vivid descriptions are given in Bhagavatam. How in the womb, how much suffering we go through. Very graphical description is there. Right? Lot of suffering we go through. So the child in the womb is somehow when it gets consciousness, it remembers 100 births previously. It prays to Krishna. Again, I'll not take birth. Again, I'll not get into the womb of any mother, Krishna. This time, let me become your nice devotee. Please bless me. Like that it prays. But as soon as it comes out, he forgets. So, because we forget how much distress we have suffered within the womb of mother, we do not make any solution to the repetition of birth and death. Right? We forget all the problems. No, somebody has gone through a very severe operation. If they say, there is an example Prabhupada gives in Bhagavatam. Piles operation, very painful. Now, the doctor will say, you've been eating all these maida items, that this and all junk. That's why you're getting piles. And then he will make a commitment. Now onwards, I will not eat any such junk food. Operation over, success. Afterwards, again, he becomes healthy, starts eating again. For one more operation. So, like this life after life, we don't know. Our buddhi is so dull, manda. Very, very bad. Slow understanding. Even though we suffer, again we want to do. This is what Krishna Prabhupada says. Birth is a suffering. Death is again a suffering. Time of death, so much sufferings one has to go through. While leaving old age, these are even bigger sufferings we all experience. So, we should have a pessimistic view of this material life, Prabhupada says. Always should consider how much distressful it is. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, this body, because of this body I am suffering. So, this should become an impetus for spiritual life. Otherwise, same body, I'm going to have one more suffering body, one more, right? Vyadhi Mandira it is called. Deha Vyadhi Mandira, Sharira. Now, Vyadhi Mandira means suffering. Body is full of disease and suffering. What is this body? Very embarrassing. So this realization should have. Darshana means, Krishna uses the word Darshana. Dukkha Doshanu Darshana. Darshana means philosophical understanding about the reality of life. What is this life all about? Simply suffering, distressful. Right? Then, item number 13, very interesting. Asaktir anavishvanga putra dara grihadishu. So Krishna says, we should be detached from your family. Husband, wife, children should not have, the attachment the way ordinarily people have. So Prabhupada says, yes, of course, as a family, feelings are important, should be there. They're natural objects of affection. But our goal should be spiritual progress. Should understand family gathering or family togetherness is only for my spiritual progress. We have to cooperate with each other to move forward in spiritual life. That should be the whole aim. Right? If this is not happening, is not favorable, if the family situation is not congenial, not favorable, then Prabhupada says family life should be abandoned. Right? Very strong statement Prabhupada is making here. Right? So, the best process for making home pleasant is Krishna consciousness. So, there are 4 recommendations Prabhupada gives. How to make your home Vaikuntha. First thing Prabhupada says, simply chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra every day. Together, all of you can sit and chant, do Sankirtan. Secondly, Prabhupada says, accept the prasadam, remnants of food offered to Krishna in your house. Thirdly, discussion on Gita and Bhagavatam with your family. And fourthly, engage in Aarti or pujas in the house. If these 4 things, if you practice seriously, all the family members can become Krishna conscious and you're progressing very nice. So even though you're in family, no problem. Right? I'm sure we'll have a lot of questions on this point, but nevertheless, let us move forward. I'll answer the questions. We will not be here this time, next time, because this time we have shortage of time. Okay, next item, the aspect of Krishna says about Nityam cha Samachittatvam, how to maintain equilibrium. Because life means ups and downs. It's like Prabhupada gives example of Arjuna. Arjuna did not want to kill his family members initially, right? But when Krishna explained to him Bhagavad Gita, he understood that these very family members are an obstacle for my bhakti, right? Krishna consciousness. Then he happily went ahead with with fighting, right? So like this, we should not be attached to happiness or distress of the material situations, because this material world is filled with dualities like this, right? So we should actually maintain a status of equilibrium. That's what Krishna says. Nityam cha samachittatvam. Then item number 15, Krishna says that ishta, anishta, upapattishu, which means we may get desirable things in life. We become too elated. And when we get something which is undesirable, we become very depressed. So this actually becoming elated and depressed is not the right way. We should remain again calm. Don't get agitated with these things, Krishna says. Right? Some things looks like similar, but it has some little fine difference. Next, 16th item, Krishna says about the practice of pure devotional service, unalloyed devotional service, without deviation. Prabhupada explains what is practice of pure devotional service or devotional service undeviatedly means engage in any of the 9 different processes: Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, chanting, hearing, worshipping, offering respect, like this. In one of the activities, always should be engaged. Any one of the activities, right? Now, never keep yourself free. Either hearing or chanting or remembering or offering some seva to Krishna in the form of archana or offering some prayers. That is, always be engaged. Next. So, to achieve this aspect of pure devotional service, Krishna says, 17th item, is that vivikta desha sevitvam. We don't want to associate with materialistic people who are all engaged in sense gratification, right? So Prabhupada says such the practitioners of devotional service, they would like to stay away from such materialistic people. They would like to live in a solitary place. Vivikta desha sevitva means they want to stay away from the people who are materialistic. They want to stay in a solitary, they want to stay in a solitary place. Avoid unwanted association. Then aratir jana samsadi, right? Detached from general mass of people. People detached from general mass of people is one more very important thing, because generally people want to have social gathering. Prabhupada gives example of sports, cinema going, nowadays clubs, social media, all these things, social functions. People want to attend these things very much, right? But a devotee knows, practitioner of devotional service knows they're all waste of time, right? So it comes naturally. What Krishna is telling, Aratir Jana Samsaya, what is the gain I'm going to get? Am I going to become a nice devotee from this? No. Right? That's what a devotee knows very firmly. Next, 19th item, Krishna says, Adhyatma Jnana Nityatvam. Right? He's always constantly having the understanding of spiritual realization. Adhyatma Jnana means he's endeavoring continuously to know about oneself and his relationship with the Supreme Spirit, and how to further his devotional service. That's what his whole consciousness is absorbed in. Right? Adhyatma Jnana Nityatvam, Prabhupada says, right? He's accepted the importance of self-realization. Self-realization means understanding oneself to be soul and have relation with Supreme Soul, eternal relation. I have to realize this. I have to understand this more and more. That's what he's always endeavoring, doing research in those matters. Rather, always endeavoring to understand the subject matter more and more. Not, Prabhupada says, not some nonsense, some research on something else. Right? That has no value. Right? Should make research by philosophical direction into the discretion into the nature of the soul. Right? That is the point. Next, last item, Tattva Jnanartha Darshanam. Right? One is to do philosophical research about yourself and for self-realization. One more next point, last point, Krishna says, 20th item is philosophical search for the absolute truth. Right? Right? Absolute truth has many aspects of absolute truth are there. As Prabhupada says, Brahman, Paramatma, how Krishna is all pervading, how is acting in every different aspects in the material world, what is the situation spiritual world, the various facets of absolute truth. He is very busy in that. So which means a person who is accepted this process of knowledge, he is not idle with regard to some materialistic way of life. He's 24 hours busy. That's what Prabhupada says. So this process, Prabhupada says, is like a staircase, beginning from the ground floor up to the top floor. So gradually, if you go on practicing them, different aspects of this knowledge, in a way Krishna is telling us, will come to the point of self-realization. That is the purpose. That is the main objective. Okay. So I'm sure all of you will have many questions. I regret that I cannot take questions today. You note down, next week we'll begin with questions and then move forward to the next. Okay. So thank you everybody for cooperating for an alternate time today. And we will continue our discussions next week again. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.